In this lesson, we're going to talk about using order of operations. Now, your operations are addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, exponentiation, and those are just some of the operations. Those are the main ones we're going to use. When you have more than one operation in a statement, the question might be, is there a particular order that you should do them? All right, I want to pose a question. If you're taking good notes, you don't even need to write this down. But if I had, suppose I had 2 plus 3 times 5. Now there are two operations. There's addition and multiplication. There could be a question, do I add those for 5 and then multiply for 25? Or, let me write it again, do I for some reason jump over here and multiply for 15 and then add the 2 for 17? Because depending on how I do it, I get a very different answer. Only one of those can be correct, and everyone doing mathematics has to do it the same way. It turns out that this is wrong and this is right. Okay, so we will talk about why as we move into this lesson. Let me make this go away. All right, the order that you do these operations, it's right here in pink. Perform all operations within parentheses, brackets, or other grouping symbols such as fraction bars, starting with the innermost set. Evaluate any expression with exponents. Multiply or divide in order from left to right. Add or subtract in order from left to right. Okay, let's summarize that. In the list of what order do I do operations, parentheses is first, exponents second, multiplication or division as I see them from left to right, addition or subtraction. To help you remember this order, you can remember this little silly sentence. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Okay, take the first letter off of each one of those, and it is, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Now, the reason I've underlined the M and D, the A and S, is because you don't always do multiplication before division. You do them as you encounter them, left to right. Same with addition and subtraction. It's a little bit like being in an emergency room in a hospital. You don't just do everything. They don't take care of every patient as they come in. They prioritize and decide what is most critical and take care of it first. So it is not always left to right. There is a particular order. Let's look at this with some examples. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally will help you remember the order. All right, first example. I have, and I'm going to write right here, it has 15 plus 8 times 3. Scan the expression from left to right. Do you see any parentheses? No. Do you see any exponents? No. Do you see any multiplication or division? Yes. I see multiplication. I'm going to draw this little V. That will help my eyes focus on that, and it will help me stay organized in my problem. 8 times 3 is 24. And I'll copy down the rest of the problem. Now I have addition, which is always the lowest priority. I'll add those two for 39. To simplify this expression means to do the operations in the correct order, and the value is, I'll pick this one, 39. The expression would be undefined only if you end up dividing by 0, and I'm not sure if we'll get one of those or not. All right, number 2. Let's look at this expression. I have 6 divided by 2 times 3 plus 8. Okay, parentheses, none. Exponents, none. Multiplication or division, yes, I have both of those, but I handle them left to right. So I will do this division first. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Copy down the rest of the problem. Still any multiplication or division? Yes, here's some multiplication. 3 times 3 is 9, plus 8. and 9 plus 8 is 17. So I needed to do those in the order. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Remembering that multiplication is not more important than division. It's as you see them, left to right. Next one, I have 7 times 5 plus 8 times 3. Parentheses, there are not any. Exponents, no. Multiplication or division, yes. I have some multiplication here. I have some multiplication here. I do it left to right. 7 times 5 is 35. Copy down the rest of the problem. Some people like to skip steps. Some people can skip steps, but I'm not going to in the notes. Now I do 8 times 3, which is 24. It's nice to have your calculator handy if you need it. Finally, I'm going to add 35 and 24 gives me 59. So this is 59. You would only be choosing undefined if you divide by 0. All right, number 4. Okay, this one looks a little bit longer. I have got in parentheses 1 plus 3 to the second power, close, divided by 5 times 2 to the second power. Okay, according to the rules, the first thing I need to do is parentheses. Well, within those parentheses, I have more than one thing, so I'm just going to focus on these parentheses for a minute. Within here, I have exponents and addition. Exponents are the higher priority. 3 to the second power is 9. So that's all I've done right now, one step at a time. Now, finish what's in parentheses. 1 plus 9 is 10. And I don't need the parentheses anymore. Now I have division, multiplication, exponents. Okay, exponents came in priority list right after parentheses. 2 to the third power. That means 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8. Copy down the problem. Now, I've taken care of everything that was in the parentheses. I've taken care of my other exponents. And I miscopied it. I'm so sorry. Let me go back. Somehow I miscopied from a 2 to a 3, and I'm glad I just saw that. So that was a 2, and that's a 4. I hope that when I make mistakes, which I will make mistakes, I hope I always copy them and get them corrected and you haven't quit listening to me. All right, now I have division and multiplication. So I will divide because it comes first, left to right, and I get 2, and 2 times 4 is 8. The value of, whoops, I have lost my, there it is. The value of my expression is 8. So in that one, I had to use parentheses, exponents, multiplication or division, addition or subtraction. Okay, in the next problem, it's a little bit longer, so let's look at it. I have 2 to the second power times parentheses 9 minus 4, close parentheses, plus 3 to the third plus 6 to the second. All right, order of operations. P for parentheses. Now, within the parentheses, I notice that I have what I consider a low-level operation of subtraction, but the fact that it's in parentheses means it has the highest priority. So I will do 9 minus 4, or 5. And I'm going to copy everything else down. You may be able to do more than one step at a time, but like I said, I will not do that. All right, so I've done my parentheses. Exponents. Yes, I have 3 sets of exponents. I'm going to do them as I see them, left to right. First one is 2 to the second power. 2 times 2, which is 4, and that's all I'm going to do for that step. Next, I've got 3 to the second power. That means 3 times 3, which is 9, and that's all I'm going to do for that step. Finally, I have 6 to the second power, which means 6 times 6. That's 36. Okay, I'm going to get myself a little more work room. All right. Now, I didn't have any parentheses. Exponents, I had 3 sets, did them left to right. Now, multiplication or division, I have one case of multiplication. 4 times 5 is 20. Copy down the rest. And I don't have any multiplication or division. I have addition. I'll go left to right. 20 plus 9 is 29. Plus 36. Add those for 65. So when I find the value of this, I simplify this expression. I ended up with 65. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. All right, number 6. I have parentheses, 5 plus 6 times parentheses, 9 minus 4. Parentheses have the highest priority. If you have 2 sets, go from left to right. The left, 5 plus 6 is 11. Copy down the problem because I'd only do one step at a time. Second set of parentheses, 9 minus 4 is 5. And now I have 11 times 5. Whoops. I do that sometimes. I lose things. All right, 11 times 5 is 55. All right, number 7. This one is in fraction notation. It is 8. Let me just say this up here. 8 parentheses 5 minus 1 plus 4 in the numerator, and then I have 4 squared minus 4 in the denominator. As it gets complicated like that, what I suggest is that you separate them. All right, N for numerator. 8 times 5 minus 1 plus 4. All I want to do right now is simplify the numerator. Parentheses have the highest priority. 5 minus 1 is 4. Copy down. Now, this 8 being right by these parentheses is a way to indicate multiplication. Now that I don't have the parentheses, I'm going to need my multiplication dot plus the 4. I have multiplication and addition. Multiplication has a higher priority, so that's 32 plus 4, and 32 plus 4 is 36. What I have is not the answer to the expression. It is the numerator. Whoops. And now I need to look at the denominator. I have 4 squared minus 4. Parentheses, there aren't any. Exponents, yes, right here. 4 to the second power means 4 times 4. So that's 16 minus 4, which is 12. The denominator's value is 12. Now, I'm not finished because a fraction line means division. 36 divided by 12 is 3. In these problems, in this chapter, or in this unit, everything will divide evenly. So if you get something and it is not dividing evenly, you have made a mistake giving you numbers that are incorrect. All right, number 8. It has 9 divided by 0 plus 14. All right, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Parentheses, there aren't any. Exponents, there aren't any. Multiplication or division, yes, right here. 9 divided by 0, you cannot divide by 0. This is undefined. If you try it with your calculator, you will get an error message. You cannot divide by 0. So there is no work to do once you recognize that. Last example, I have 2 to the third times 4 minus parentheses 30 divided by 10. Okay, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. P for parentheses. I will do what's in the parentheses first. 30 divided by 10 is 3. So copy down the rest of the problem. Next, exponents. Yes, 2 to the third power. And I've done that a few times already. That's 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8, times 4 minus 3. 8 times 4 is, and I do multiplication before I do subtraction, that's 32 minus 3, subtract for 29. I hope that helps. Remember, it is please excuse my dear Aunt Sally with multiplication and division tying, and you do them as you see them left to right. Same with addition or subtraction.